Well, hello, everybody, and this is Auntie. Welcome to the Auntie's Advice podcast. Auntie, say it isn't so. Say it isn't so. I am sitting in the red chase. Of course, you all are hearing all of that, that rubbing together, but nonetheless, we are here. Today, I decided again to go live and to talk to you all, but don't get used to it because, of course, wait a minute, y'all. Let me move this back. There we go. I decided to go live with you all to talk about stop judging yourself and just live. This is your first time being here. I am Auntie from Auntie's Advice, and I am going to be going over a series of hopefully encouraging words to help you to live life to the fullest and to grow. Now, of course, I'm not perfect. I have my own set of stuff, but we're going to get through this together. I have my laptop with me so that I can use it as a resource to bring up some things that we want to talk about. So, of course, as I told you all, I'm going to be going through my journal. And today I was journaling, thinking about you and myself and why we should stop judging ourselves. One of the first steps that I have taken, and I believe other people have taken, is to stop judging myself prematurely and to live a life that is free from judgment. In my thumbnail, I said, why should I have to judge you? You're doing a great job yourself. And I really want to explain that, expound on that. So I'm going to start by reading something that I journaled today. Yes, I am in my robe. And so we're going to be doing a lot of this in the robe in the morning and in the evening. So let me open up to my page on judgment. Okay, so here's what I wrote today, and I just want to share some of it with you. Let me sit up. Okay, I've got my laptop. So I said, in a world full of decisions, choices, and tasks, we often judge either ourselves or the outcome of a situation. As I sit with myself, I wonder in my mind of all the many things I have going on, causes fear, trepidation, which all equal judgment of myself. Why can't I give myself grace and mercy? Why am I not the first partaker of my own gracefulness to myself? So a lot of times that when we're going through different things or we're pondering life or maybe trying to take a new job opportunity or not, we judge ourselves very quickly. For the most part, we judge ourselves against other people. With the same judgment that we judge ourselves with, we give other people grace. So as I began to write this today, I was thinking about different things that I have gone through in my life where I have allowed myself to judge myself more harshly than I would give someone grace. So, for instance, let's just take a for instance. You're applying for a new job. You don't know whether or not you're qualified for the job or not until you read through the qualifications. So now you're reading through the qualifications, and of course, that is meant for you to judge your experience, your talent, your gift that you may be lending to it. It gives you an opportunity to look at your past. It gives you an opportunity to see what part of your past is applicable to this job, past experience, past job experiences, the whole gamut. So you're reading through the qualifications of this particular job and you're saying, okay, I got that. Yes, I have skills with Excel. I have skills with Microsoft's, the whole entire suite. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, good. I'm looking at this job and I'm saying, I am qualified. And then you get to a bump in the road in the qualification section. This is something you've never done, although you've done everything else. But there's one little bump in the road, and you say, oh, I don't know how to do that, or I've never done that. Do you throw all of it out? Do you apply for the job? Do you say, you know what? Maybe I can be honest about this. Hope this doesn't come up in the interview. If it does, will I study? Will I not? Now we're starting off with fear. So we're starting off with fear. Now, I started this out by saying, why don't I give myself the same grace and mercy that I give to someone else? We're talking about a job qualification. I'm not giving myself that grace because one bump in the road. But my girlfriend calls me on the phone. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Hey, girl. Hey, hey. What's up, boo? Nothing. Look, I'm applying for this job. And girl, I got all the qualifications but one. I mean, it's one thing in the whole qualification section that I am not going to be able to honestly answer on my application or in my resume to say, yes, I have experience doing that. Girl, you better apply for that job. Why would you not apply for a job? I mean, if it's just one thing, you could probably get in the door, do your application, you know, prepare your resume to answer all of those questions that, all of those qualifications. Make sure it's in your resume. But then in that, touch on this, briefly or whatever. Do a little bit of research. Girl, you got that. Apply for that job. Why wouldn't you apply for a job, child, and you just got one thing? Girl, if you don't get off of my phone, for us, we've now given our friend the encouragement to be to apply for a job that they are qualified for with the absence of one thing. But when it comes to us, we take those past fears, those past, traumas or rejection, and now we put it in that one little thing. It's funny how we will pick one thing out to disqualify ourselves for everything. But not our friends, not our family members, not our spouses, just us. So you say, Auntie, how do I give myself that same grace? How do I give myself that same mercy? How do I rah and cheerlead for myself when I am dealing with other issues that are affecting me because of this one disqualification, or that I feel is a disqualification? We judge ourselves more harshly than we ever judge other people. It is what it is. But why? What is it that causes us to judge ourselves when the word says that there is therefore now no condemnation? There is no condemnation. We have been made righteous. We are qualified. One thing doesn't disqualify you from life. That one thing that happened to you in your life has not disqualified you from living your best life. It has not disqualified you from living a full life. It has not. That's one bump in the road. You are still powerful. You are still qualified. You are still justified. So why don't you give yourself grace? So I wrote down, what is the definition of judgment? Because we always judge ourselves. You often hear people say, a cliche. I am my worst critic. Have you all heard people say that? And I can't see the comment section, so I don't know if you all are answering or not. But we say, I'm my worst critic. I criticize myself first. Okay. Why? So when I looked up judgment, it says it's the ability to make considered decisions or to come to a sensible conclusion. Let me read it again. Judgment is the ability to make considered decisions or to come to a sensible conclusion. That's the positive part of judgment. So here I am. I'm reading a qualification, a job qualification, and uh, and I am considering applying for this job. If I take this and I apply this, this is the positive way of me doing so. I am making a decision to come to a sensible conclusion that yes, I should apply for that job because there's only one part of that application or that qualification for that job that I am not qualified for. But then there's another side of judgment, which is the judgment that we usually use against ourselves, to ourselves, right? Or judgment can be defined this way: a misfortune, a calamity viewed as a divine punishment. That's the negative side of judging ourselves. And that is the one that we always go to first. A calamity. What is a calamity? An event, great and often damage or distress. It's one event. It did not say events, it said one event. That's the definition of calamity. An event, great and often damage that leads to damage or distress. Misfortune, an unfortunate event. One, singular. So you've had that one situation in your life, and now you use the negative definition of judgment against yourself for possibly being, doing, having all that you have desired to have. You take the negative side of judgment and you judge yourself by one event. Let's just say, for saying sake, that there were two events. Was it calamity? Were you destroyed? Were you cast down? Are you out of the game? Or are you still living and breathing and having another opportunity to make a different decision, a different judgment of yourself, a different judgment of your possible outcome? A lot of times we choose to do the latter, the negative, because a lot of us are full with fear and trepidation. We are fearful of rejection. We're fearful that we're going to fail at something. We're fearful that we're going to hurt somebody's feelings if we tell the truth and shame the devil. We have fear, anxiety, trepidation. Let me think. And that is because we are now moving out of our emotions. But how many of us know that our emotions are not facts? Our emotions are feelings and it has nothing to do with facts. Facts and emotions don't go together. When we're talking about judgment of oneself or the success of oneself, they're not partners together. They're not friends. Matter of fact, for the most part, they're enemies. Let me give you an example of emotions. There's somebody that I want to talk to. I want to talk to them and I've been wanting to have a conversation with them, I start the sentence off in my mind this way. I wonder how I'll start the conversation. Anxiety. Instead of just having the conversation and saying what it is that you have to say, approaching the person, not judging yourself based on past experiences, but judging yourself to have a sensible conclusion instead of calamity, you stop and your emotion, and now your emotion is anxiety. Oh my God, I wonder how I even start this question. There's no there's no good way of saying I wonder how. The positive way of looking at that same situation, taking the emotion of anxiety out of it, is saying, I'm going to start this conversation. That's confidence. That's coming to a reasonable, an ability to make a considered decision or to come to a sensible conclusion. The worst that they could do is shut it down. But then you've got to still deal with now. If you're the type of person that judges yourself or stay in a place of judgment, doesn't allow yourself the grace, the fortitude, don't allow yourself mercy, don't allow yourself to live in the moment, to live and do what it is that you want to do, be, and have. Now you're in, oh my God, this is going to end up being the worst experience of my life. Let me tell you something. If you've lived long enough, you've had one worst experience of your life, one after the other. So why not give yourself the grace? Why not give yourself the confidence to say, I'm going to have this conversation? Now, in the midst of that, yes, you can consider thinking, you can consider, what you're going to say, but you don't want to start off with, I wonder how, because you already know the how. So you don't have to wonder about anything. Now, this may seem a little weird to some people, may, be like, Auntie, what are you talking about? Why would you wonder? If you have the ability to communicate, you don't have to wonder. I wonder if I apply for this job, what's going to happen? That's anxiety. That's fear. That's predicting something or predicting the future for yourself, just selling yourself out of it. Instead of just saying, you know what? I want to apply for this job, and allowing the powers that be to push you past that negative thought in your mind. I wonder how. I wonder what they're going to say when they get my application. I wonder if they're going to zero in on that one thing. Because that's what fear and that's what fear and anxiety and not allowing the universe to partner with you on your destiny, because we all have a destiny. A lot of people will say, you know what, I'm just going to pray about it and I'm going to let God do the work. Well, he doesn't get up in the morning. Now, he gets me up in the morning. Let's not get it twisted. He gets me up in the morning by breathing breath into my body. But when I go and sit in front of my computer, he doesn't do the work. Do you see how sometimes you used to cliches and not really looking at facts? The fact is that God doesn't sit and do your job for you. He gives you the grace and the ability to do your job, but he doesn't do it for you. He doesn't take your fingers and learn the keyboard and know where the A is, the home keys. Y'all remember the home keys? If you my age, you remember going to typing class when you was in school, okay? They don't think they do that anymore, but honey, when I was coming up in school, they was making you go to a typing class, okay? You had home ec, you had wood shop, and you had typing, bitch, okay? Those are things that you had. Approaching this situation from a place of judgment. And that's why I say, I don't have to judge you, you judge yourself. But Auntie, how do I get out of judging myself? Let's go through the whole process. We're still talking about this job application. We're still applying for a job because we know that we want a job. We know what we can do. And we also know what we can't do. But why do we lead with what we can't do as opposed to leading with what we can do? You know exactly what it is that you can do. You've already looked at this application, but you're leading with one. You've let one situation in your life stop you from having the best, stop you from going to another level, stop you from facing a challenge. And it's not even based on facts. The fact is that that job qualification could be flexible, especially since you only have one thing. But because you've had the world pound down on you, maybe it was a family member, maybe it was a teacher, maybe it was a spouse, maybe it was a friend, I don't know. But that one person or that one incident, that one calamity, which was one event that led to destruction, is not even a fact either. The fact of the matter is, you're still here. And as long as you have breath in your body, you are still here and you are still able to accomplish all that you have set out for yourself. But because of one event, you stand unready to move forward. Today, I am hoping that you move forward and that you use the positive definition of judgment. Judgment leads down the road of two equal parts. I wrote that down. Sensible and calamity or misfortune. Making the wrong decision when defining or using judgment of oneself is going to lead you down one road or the other one. One road or the other one. Which one will you choose for your life? Will you choose the sensible road? A sensible person says, it's only one thing I don't know. And if I research it, if I do the work, not the work that you're going to lay down and say, God, you do it for me, but the work that you do, I'll be able to talk through this. I've been on interviews for jobs where there were a couple of things I wasn't qualified for. But the bulk of what they wanted, I had it. And so what did I do? I applied for the jobs. The worst thing someone can tell you is no. That's the worst thing that could happen, is that you don't get it. The best thing that could happen to you is in that no, that you go to a no. You take a class. And so when I say someone tells you no, N-O, and you take that N-O and you add a K in the front of it and a W in the back of it, and now you know. So now you take it and you take that no, put the K in front of it, get the knowledge. Okay? There's some good stuff. I'm telling you, there's some good stuff. I'm gonna have to write this down in my book. You put a K in the front, which is knowledge. Gain the knowledge about that thing that you want to learn, or that thing that disqualified you, or the thing that brought you to the N and the O. Put a K in front of it, which is knowledge. On the back side of it, get wisdom about it. Now you know what to do the next time that opportunity comes by. Now you know what it is you need to do in order to be qualified. Now you know what's in you and what's not. And you know, I've got to research this. I've got to do whatever it takes in order to get from a no to a no. I hope y'all got that. I hope y'all got that. I hope y'all got that. I hope you got that. That's how you get past things. Let me put my laptop here. I hope you learn how to get past a no, a rejection, someone saying no. Might be a romantic relationship that you want to be in, and you get in this romantic relationship and you learn some things, or the person tells you some things about yourself, and it comes to, the place or the time where, you all split up. Okay, now I know. He told me no. Now I know. Now I do the work, because now I know what it is that I need to check or improve. And even if someone tells you something like that, you still got to line it up with facts. And then you've got to give yourself the grace and the mercy that you would give your girlfriend. So, your girlfriend, another example, your girlfriend, she calls you on the phone. She's been dating this guy for, about, let's say 3 months. She's been dating him for like 3 months. They dating each other, they in bliss and everything, they doing what they do with the whoop whoop and the boo boo boo. They break up. She calls you on the phone. She's bawling, honey. She is crying. Girl, she thought he was all that, honey. He was Mr. Right. He was Mr. Right now, honey. Okay? He was Mr. Right now. What's going on, girl? He broke up with me. He didn't like me. He said that I was X, Y, and Z and knick-knack and patty racket, bitch, give a dog a bone. Do you tell your girlfriend, you was, girl? You are, you are BINGO. You are all that he said that you was, girl. I'm trying to tell you. Or do you say, you know what? He wasn't good enough for you. You can do better. But then when you break up with somebody, you don't give yourself that same grace and that same mercy. The fact is that you told your girlfriend the truth, but you tell yourself a lie. You don't give yourself the same grace and the same mercy. You don't give yourself the same latitude. You don't give yourself the same out. But you got that strength and that power to give to your girlfriend, but you won't give it to yourself. You're unfair. It's unfair to you. We have to make sure that we understand what is our emotion and what is our reality, and why we choose the negative side of judgment as opposed to using the positive side of judgment. We have to learn as human beings that we are human beings. And I will go over that. We'll talk about that later on. But I wanted to give you an encouraging word. And I'm hoping that you all are able to know how to get to your no. Judgment is good when used the right way. But when you justifiably judge yourself for past hurts or past pains, you never get to the no. In all thy getting, get an understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing. When we don't know something, we seek knowledge. Let me bring up the definition for knowledge, because y'all know I'm a word person and I don't know why I didn't write that down, but I'm going to write that down because that just came to me. I ain't going to be before y'all long. I'm going to get on off of here, but I'm hoping I'm helping somebody. Of course, y'all, I cannot see the comments because I'm sitting back chilling. Let's find out what the definition of knowledge is, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall, because that's how y'all auntie go. Let's get it. So we're going to go to the Miriam. I usually don't though, but we're going to go today. So the Merriam-Webster says knowledge. Okay, it's a noun. The fact or condition of knowing something, being familiar with it, gained through experience or association. The fact or condition of being aware of something. The range of one's information or understanding. The circumstance or condition of apprehending truth or fact through reasoning. The fact or condition of having information or of being learned. Not every place in here. Not every place in here is there room for judgment. Because judgment, when used the wrong way, is based on untruths. Judgment, when you being used the right way, is based on sensibility. I'm hoping y'all got that. Don't judge yourself wrongfully. Get the knowledge and the wisdom that you need in order to know what your purpose is, the truth about who you are, the truth about the grace that you want to give to yourself in circumstances. That's why a lot of times people don't have to judge us because we wrongfully judge ourselves. But when we're sensible with ourselves, like we are with our girlfriend, or we are with someone who's calling us about a job where they only disqualified by one qualification out of 20. When we can be sensible and give strength and empower other people for ourselves, we use our past hurts, past traumas. But this in knowledge is the fact or condition of knowing something gained through experience or an association. And that's where a lot of us put judgment at. We use this definition for judgment. Are y'all getting me? I can't see the comments, and that's just stressing me out. So I'm going to have to find another way of seeing these comments so I can be talking to y'all. We use the definition for knowledge in place of the definition of judgment. And we can't. We can't. Judgment leads down two roads, positive or negative. Which one will you choose? Which one will you choose? Let me give you a couple of things that I want you to consider before I leave you for tonight. There's a green glass vase on the table. There is a green glass vase on the table. Judgment. Let's go. Positive. What can you say positive about that green vase on the table? Path number one. Path number two. What is your negative thought about that same green glass? What's the calamity? Oh my God, there's a green glass vase on the table. I am probably going to knock it down today. That's not based on facts. There's a green glass on the table. It would sure look pretty with some of the flowers out of my garden. Two decisions about one vase. Let's try another one. There is a pain in my back. There's a pain in my back. Path number one, calamity. Oh my God. I've got to go to the doctor. There's something wrong with me. Is that based on fear or fact? Path number one. That was path number two. That's the negative. Path number two. There is a pain in my back. I need to go and exercise or stretch. And I'm sure I can get this pain out of my back. Until you have the fact of the matter, you can't judge it. Until you have the fact of what that matter is, you can't judge it. And now you have to do what? With both of those, the base and with the back pain. With the back pain, now you need to do what? You need to put a K in the front and a W in the back. And now you need to know why you have that pain in your back. You've got to put the K, knowledge, and the W, wisdom, in order to know why you have that pain in your back. But you have to start leading your thought pattern with the positive, not the negative. I know that it is easier said than done for all of us. Me included. I ain't perfect. Y'all know I ain't perfect. But we need to work and try to achieve perfection in our lives. So when I wrote this down today, and I wrote down some other things too, I ain't gonna tell y'all what I wrote. I had to check myself about things that I too have struggled with as it relates to judgment. Judging myself against other people isn't facts because I am unique and wonderfully made. There is only one of me, and no one else has my fingerprints nor my DNA. So to judge myself according to other people is already starting off in error. To judge myself based on what I have or what I don't have is also in error. Because you could lose what you have and you can gain more than what you don't have when you put the K in the front of the N and the W on the end. When you apply knowledge and wisdom, right? Now you can change whatever situation you find yourself in. If you have more or you have what you believe that you want in life, then you can also achieve more with the K and the W in there. And if you're not where you want to be, then it is time for you to get some knowledge and some wisdom on how to go to the next level. But what you don't do is stay there and waddle in the no. You don't waddle in the no, I don't have $100,000 in my bank account. No, I do not have that man or that woman that I desire in my life. No, I do not have this and I do not have that. Now you got to do the work because nobody's going to do the work for you. You have to do the work yourself. Even me, there's some things that, in listening and in studying that I have determined. I have been lazy and procrastinating, but I have been encouraging other people in this same area. I've been encouraging other people and have not given myself the same grace and the same mercy. I have not taken the same knowledge and wisdom and turned it into a no and not a no. So I have to do the work. I've got to do the work and get out of the posture of negatively judging myself or situation. It is not a calamity. It is not the end of the world. And if it is, it's one event in my life. It does not dictate what happens in the remaining portion of my day, of my week, of my night. Get up. Don't waddle in where you are. Get up, make the correction, get the knowledge and the wisdom, and make the correction. You are worth it. You are wonderfully created. You are unique. There's only one of you, and that one of you is good enough. That one of you is capable and able to do what it is you need to do in order to change that one event in your life. You are not defined by one event. You are a multifaceted person, okay? You are a human being with human capabilities. And not only that, God will provide resources to you, people who you can go to, who you can talk to. And if you don't have that, hit me up. Thank you to those individuals who reached out to me in my email and encouraged me. Thank you. I am so happy. Even somebody's husband reached out. Okay. But you can do this. Get out of judging yourself, because judging yourself doesn't do anything but keep you in that event. Even in the natural disasters that we have seen, and wars and rumors of wars, and I think of 9/11, that was one event. Yes, it has a ripple effect on some people, but then you don't stay there. Nobody is still down there in the rubble. That event happened and people cleaned it up, and we went on, and now there's a memorial in this place. It's a thing to remind us, but it's not a situation to keep us there. We are not meant to stay in rubble. We are meant to get up, brush ourselves off, rise above that situation. None of us are staying there. None of us are still there in the rubble. We have moved on. We remember. We remember, but we're not there anymore. We are not there anymore. Don't you dare stay stuck. Don't you dare stay in that situation. Get your ass up. Move on and do exactly what it is that you need to do. Because I know I am. Every day you have an opportunity to change. Give yourself grace. Give yourself mercy for past things that you've done. Can't nobody hold you anywhere that you don't allow yourself to be held. There are a lot of people, honey, that's going to put their mouth on you wrong. And some people that's going to put their mouth on you right. And you keep it pushing. And when you need help, look for it. Reach out. Stop saying no to yourself. Stop living in fear and anxiety. Because anxiety ain't never did nothing positive for nobody. And we're going to talk about anxiety, because sometimes your auntie suffers with anxiety. Sometimes I am anxious. Sometimes I'm like, but what does that give me? It pauses me. It keeps me in a perpetual state of fear. When I am anxious of something, I cannot move forward. I'm staying in the rubble instead of going to the K and the W. Walking in knowledge, gaining wisdom. I hope this has blessed somebody. I hope that this has helped you all. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm rising up on my little chair. I really, really do. I thank you all so much for being here. Unfortunately, I couldn't see the comments. So please forgive me. But I just want to encourage your heart and let you know we ain't going to be judging ourselves anymore wrongfully. We're going to choose road number one. I love you all. Have a great day and a great night on purpose. Again, thank you all so much for your support. Love y'all.